Everyone, welcome back to Bachelor Happy Hour. I'm Joe.
And I'm Serena.
And today we are diving into part 1 of our Happy Hour crossover with our Golden Hour ladies, Kathy and Susan. Welcome. How are you guys?
Hey, how are you? Thanks for having us.
Of
Good.
course.
Here. So last time we had you guys on was for Joey's season. We did an episode recap, and that was, I think, right before Golden Hour became a thing. So how's it been?
Yes, it's been fabulous. We're having a ball.
It's so much fun. I think the most fun for me is hearing readers' questions and people asking us for our advice. It's just so fun to hear what people think all over the country.
Fun part for me is arguing with Kathy. We have different point of views.
Well, that's kind of what we're going to get into today. So for today's episode, we're mixing it up a little and getting into the true crossover spirit. For those of you who haven't listened to Kathy and Susie's Golden Hour yet, you're missing out. So today we're going to be answering some listener write-ins together, a 4-for-1 deal, or a 4-for-2 deal, I should say. And we have some good ones here, so we're so excited. This is fun for us because I feel like
It's so different.
it's so different.
Way
We've
different
never
than what
done
we
anything
do.
like this on here before.
Wait. Before we start, Susan, I have to ask, how was Bradley Cooper?
Oh my God,
What?
he made my
Yeah.
day.
That
What
popped up on
happened?
my Explore page.
What
Susie-
happened?
Okay,
You
wait,
didn't see it, Serena? It's
No, I
everywhere.
missed it. Tell
so
me.
we get for lunch, and he's making cheesesteaks, which happens to be one of my favorite, and he is from my same town. And we see each other, we point, and he goes, I'm a huge fan. Then he brings me on the back of the truck, of the food truck. And he
truck,
goes,
yeah.
Susan, I have to take selfies with my camera. I have a million questions for you. I never missed a show. You're my favorite. I was like, oh my God.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I saw him doing the cheese truck thing,
Cheese-
but I didn't
cheesesteak,
realize
yeah.
that you guys met. That's so funny.
Out
That's
of nowhere. It was a blast. Yeah, it made my day.
Well,
and you know
Susan-
what? He's a really nice guy.
Susan,
Yes.
I don't know if you guys know this. He emailed me and asked me if I would do a duet of Shallow with him.
Yeah.
Sure, Kathy.
Jealous,
Let's see the
Kathy?
receipts.
No.
Let's see the
Just a
receipts.
little. Just a little.
No, he was great. He was great.
Kathy, where are you again? You're in Texas, right?
I'm in Austin, Texas.
Austin? Okay.
Yep.
Serena's never been, really wants to go.
I do want to go.
Come on.
Yeah.
I've got plenty of
Serena,
bedrooms.
It
Come
was
on.
my first time there. I went out to perform the ceremony for Kathy's son's wedding. Because I
No
keep
way,
saying
that's
marry
so
her
cool.
son. Everybody's like,
Yeah.
what? I lived in Texas, right outside of Dallas, for 9 years. I did not think I was in Texas being in Austin. They have rolling hill roads and trees everywhere, just like here. I was surprised. It was a
Austin is
beautiful,
very
beautiful
different from the
city.
rest of Texas. I am
Yes.
originally from Massachusetts, which is where my accent comes from. But Austin is a great city with a lot to do. And anyone who wants to come, Serena, come on, I'll show you a good time. While the F1's going on, come here, we'll have fun.
I should, honestly. Well, it's 2 p.m. and you're prepping for Italy with a glass of wine right now. So I don't doubt it, Kathy. I feel like I always see you with Katie Bigger too. You guys always look like you're having so much
wait.
fun.
Oh, she's
Can I
a
just
doll
tell you?
too.
I was at her house last weekend she had
Yeah.
a bunch of women over. And we had so much fun. I was the oldest one there by about 30 years, but she is the best friends. She is the kindest person. She is beautiful. She's smart. She's talented. That girl, Zach, hit the jackpot with her, and she with him too.
Yeah,
She's
no.
great people.
She
She's
came
such a
over when I
catch.
was there with Kathy, and we did a TikTok together. We had a
Yeah.
blast.
I
She's
saw.
just quick on her feet. Yeah, she's
Yeah,
good.
she's
I
great.
love her.
I hope she's listening to this. We're
I
really,
know. Hey, Kate.
I'll text her.
If I had another son, Zach, I love you, but you'd be history.
Wow.
I want to be your mother-in-law.
Coming for him. I like that. I like that. All right, let's get into this. So, questions. I'm going to read the first one. Question 1. It's from Priscilla from Tampa Bay. She's asking, when do conflicting timelines become a deal breaker?
She's 27.
Did I not say that?
No,
Nice.
I just throwing that in there.
She's also 27.
Okay.
She has said, I've been dating my boyfriend for a little over 3 years, and things have been going well overall. However, lately we have been having discussions about our future together, and it seems like we are not on the same page when it comes to timelines. For context, he's 29. I'm ready to take the next step and move in together, but my boyfriend really wants to keep saving money by living with his roommates. He does at least tell me that he's open to the idea eventually. When it comes to marriage, it gets worse. Anytime I bring up the idea of one day getting married, my boyfriend always just defers to the fact that he's not ready yet. He reassures me that he loves me and sees a future with me, but he wants to take things slower. I understand that everyone moves at their own pace, but I can't help feeling anxious about our conflicting timelines. How big of a problem is this in a relationship, and how can we work through it? I feel like I can't even figure out how I feel and what pace I want to move at because his pace is so slow! Exclamation point.
One question. Did they say how long they've been together?
Yeah, a little over 3 years.
3 years. Okay.
That's that's a decent amount of time to be with
Yeah,
somebody.
you should know something by now.
Yeah.
There was something you said, Joe, when you read it, that told me everything I needed to know. This is her problem. He's perfectly happy with the way things are going. She's the one that's not happy, and she can't force him to do. It's not a good idea to give ultimatums. She's either got to sit and be patient and wait or move along, because you can't force someone to do what they're not ready to do.
And
What do you
is he
think,
ever
Susan?
ready, though? Is this just buying time for him that, it's comfortable? Yeah, because if you're with her, she's going to split the rent anyhow.
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
It's like, I want to save money by living with my roommates. It's like, well, you could find an apartment where we're splitting the rent that still
Save
falls
the same
within
amount of money, yes.
your budget.
And it's like, how many, who are these roommates? Is it 3 guys that he's been friends with for a long time and they're still going out partying?
No, it's 3 girls.
That's another problem.
I got the same question sent to me. I'm kidding.
My thing is, I mean, look, you're together for 3.5 years, no sign of living together, no sign of marriage. It does sound not great, but I think when it comes to timeline, there's no right or wrong timeline for a relationship, but you have to be on the same page with your partner about that timeline. So if she is like, I'm kind of ready to take the next step and he's not, it's like, well, why are you not ready? And when do you think you might be ready? Like 3 years and a bit is like, okay, you need to give me is it 1 year? Is it 3 years? I don't know.
The point that he's not doing it, Serena, tells me he's not ready, and that's why I said it's a her problem.
Yeah,
But
and
is he
he's
saving
not
for a
ready, or he's
house?
not ready with her.
That's my point. If she, it's cast your lot. Either wait around and see if he's ready, and if you're ready and he's not, you can't say, will you be ready in a year? He doesn't know. So if
That's
you're
true,
ready
yeah.
and you don't want to wait a year,
Yeah.
move along, girlfriend.
How about
There's-
the question, how not ready are you? What
Yeah.
exactly are you saying?
I think actions speak louder than words.
Yeah, and it goes to what you said, Kathy. It's like, it's not like he's going to be like, I will be ready exactly in 12 months. Like, he
Yeah,
doesn't know.
Yeah, it's not like he's saying I just need another year, or this is, I'm 29. I envision myself getting married around 33.
More acceptable? Yes.
It's just a general, well, I don't know, which is,
And the question is, does he not know because he's not sure she's it? He's not feeling it. He wants to save 10,000, or does he want 12,500?
And her
to
clock
me-
is ticking in her world. She's
And
talking
that's-
about marriage. She's looking.
well, she's also
ahead.
probably thinking, I've been with this guy for 3.5 years. I don't want to waste my time if
I
he's
don't
not
blame
going to
her.
fully commit
you know what?
to me.
I don't know what her name is, but I would say, if
Priscilla.
you're feeling this strongly, don't waste your pretty and skinny on some guy that may or may not ever get to the finish line.
Okay, so
Yeah,
is
I
that
would
your
have some
advice?
serious conversations with him.
I think his actions speak loudly. I think it's you. What I don't know what her name is, but either be
Priscilla.
patient and see how
Priscilla.
it plays. Priscilla, that was my mother's name. Priscilla, either be patient and wait and see how it plays out. But if you can't wait, there's your answer. Move along.
And
You're in
as-
the driver's seat, not him. You're in the driver's seat. You either wait around to see if he's ready, or you move along.
As well as how good is your relationship? Do you feel great when you're with him, with the time you do spend together? Is he the one for real?
I think when you're in a
on vacations, perfect beach vibe. Click. Be the first.
Wireless service, you don't have to keep having
Patience is already wearing thin, and
because and it doesn't seem like he's willing, from what she wrote, it doesn't seem like he's willing to budge. So her only choice is to wait around, and she doesn't want to do that. So all that's going to both of you a little bit.
Luck, sweetie.
Yeah,
Don't
I mean,
stay too long.
yeah, I feel I
continues to wait, she's likely going to build.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
I also think waiting around is hard because it sounds like her patience is already wearing thin, and if she continues to wait, she's likely going to build some resentment, and it's going to
Resentment. It goes here, 2, 3. Here.
Yeah, exactly.
okay.
What do you think?
Good
Joe?
luck, sweetie.
Yeah,
Don't
I mean,
stay too long.
yeah, I feel I just think it's one of those things where, you know, if it's something you really want and you're not going to give and take both of you a little bit, then you have to move on, because and it doesn't seem like he's willing, from what she wrote, it doesn't seem like he's willing to budge. So her only choice is to wait around, and she doesn't want to do that. So all that's going to cause is resentment in the relationship.
Well,
so
wait,
I
Joe,
think,
she could also give him an ultimatum. They never work, but she can either wait around, walk, or give him an ultimatum.
They do work sometimes. Some people realize that that's the love of their life. They're just not ready yet. But then you buy, okay, give me 6 months or give me 1 year and we'll go here.
Yeah, it's like I feel like they have to make a game plan together of like, I'm ready, you're not. We have to meet halfway here. So like maybe next year we put that deadline on it. But if I feel like he's not really giving her much.
You got to start looking around, girlfriend.
That's what I smell. I smell a rat here. There's just something. You know, they're not even living together, and she wants to get married. He doesn't. It just doesn't.
He's not
it just,
there. No,
yeah, he's not there.
And I would be interested in knowing who the roommates are. Do they go out partying every other weekend? You know?
yeah.
Yeah, like what's the lifestyle like living with the
Right.
roommates that it's so great that he doesn't want to give it up?
Because
know,
I
some
can't
guys-
imagine if it's all men, that place being clean. I mean, that's the first
here
thing
we-
that comes to my mind.
Joe and Serena, Susan spends, just so you and Bachelor Nation know, Susan spends a lot of time cleaning, and this is rule number 1 for Susan: clean.
Clean.
Everything's clean.
I feel like you've said that on the podcast before, Susan, when we've been like, what's a deal breaker?
Yeah,
You're like, they have to be clean.
Well, right now we've been gone for like 7 days, and we have something that is stuck in our drain. In
We
the
don't know what
sink.
it is.
Smell when you came home?
Not bad, but when you're over top of the sink, something is funky. So, but
Oh,
we
Put a
could have
lemon
been-
down there.
We
Hit
did.
the garbage
we did.
disposal.
We don't have a garbage disposal.
So it's like
be-
something is sitting at the bottom, and something's like fallen down. We did vinegar and baking soda.
So I
and
got to
hot
get in
water.
there.
You
Joe,
should not
put
get
your
in
hand
there.
in there, Joe. Feel around.
Oh, it's gonna be
Put a
terrible.
glove on. I'd take a
Nope.
wooden spoon and scrape or something.
Yeah.
You know
But-
what I do? 1-800 clean out my sink.
Yeah, we're gonna call somebody because honestly, it can't hurt to have that thing professionally cleaned out. It's been a while,
couldn't
but
hurt.
Priscilla, I think our collective answer is you need to figure out if he's ever going to move in with you, if he's ever going to marry you. Have some hard conversations, and if you can't get the answers you're looking for or any answer at all, it might be time to move on.
Yep. Agreed.
Yep. Agreed.
4-way.
Yeah, I agree.
But
All
good
right.
luck, Priscilla. I hope
good
it
luck.
works.
Absolutely.
We hope it works out. All right, should we do question number 2?
Question
Okay.
2.
Okay, this is from Talia. Oh, it's my sister's name. 27 from San Diego. So definitely not her.
Be funny if it was her though.
That would be crazy. Friend group clashes. Is this a deal breaker? I've been dating my boyfriend for about 8 months and things have been going great for the most part. However, I feel like we've been struggling when it comes to our friends. My friends really like him, and as far as I know, his friends like me too. But anytime we have a big gathering with people from both groups, it's painfully awkward. I threw a big party for my birthday and told my boyfriend to invite whoever he'd like. Thankfully, the party was big enough, so it wasn't noticeably awkward, but I could totally tell. There was even an argument that broke out at one point. The biggest issue is politics. My boyfriend and I feel the same politically, as do my friends, but his friends not so much. Some of them are more moderate, while others strongly affiliate on the opposing side of the spectrum. I know these occasions don't happen often, but my boyfriend and I both love to host and love having big gatherings and celebrations with our friends. So I know there's plenty more in store. What should I do? Is this a deal breaker for us? I can't see a world in which either of us stop inviting our friends to things. Each of our friend groups are years long. Oof, that's hard.
I have the
It's
answer.
a no conversation on politics,
No.
religion, politics.
Oh no,
taboo.
Susan. Well, I was going to say talk about religion to be funny, but you know what they do? Put a sign on their door that says you're entering a politically and religiously free zone. Do not discuss.
That's all. Don't you just tell them?
I mean,
Yeah, I mean, look, I think people could be on opposite ends and still get along.
Respectfully, yeah.
And just I just think it seems like this situation is going to be difficult because just the way she wrote this in, it seems like they will always bring it up and always argue, and it seems like there's some people in the friend groups that like to argue, so that's going to be an issue.
Yeah.
But I think in a relationship, like, it's really about you and your partner, and then, like, as far as the friends, I mean, you could work on that, and I know it's not ideal, but maybe just don't invite
Or don't
just hang out
invite
with
that
those
person. Yes.
yeah,
yes.
or just hang out with them separately because you could deal with them and other people
And
can't.
if they were my friends, I'd say, listen, if you can't keep that at a low or non-discussion at all,
can't
then
come.
I don't think you should come.
Yeah.
Susan, I'm telling you, you just read my mind again. I was going to say, Susan and I would both say to that person, hey, you're making it, because we're older, we would call it out. We would
Yeah.
say, you're making it uncomfortable for us and our friends, and we love you all, and we want to all get together, but you got to stop. And if you can't stop, make other plans, because we love you. You and I would do that,
Because
Susan.
of our age. Now think about it. They're in their 20s. It's not.
know.
They don't feel so comfortable
Right.
calling
Get
How
out.
old is she?
comfortable.
How old are they? 30. Yeah.
27, I think.
27.
Oh, 27?
27.
That's
So
young.
yeah, they're my age. So I don't know. I
How
think
would you
that,
do it? Yeah, come on, talk to us.
Yeah,
Serena.
I mean, like, I don't think if you're in a relationship, your separate friend groups have to get along for the relationship to work. That's obviously
Yeah, I agree with
amazing
that
if it
too.
does,
I
but I
agree.
don't think.
I
Yes,
agree.
like for I have to get along with Joe's friends, and he has to get along with my friends. But our separate friends, it's not crucial for them to get along
for
for us
them
to
to
have.
all love each other.
Yeah,
right,
no,
right.
for our relationship to work. So I don't think it's a deal breaker by any means. I do think it also takes time for people to warm up to each other. Like, you might have to give it a few tries for these people to get to know each other, to get along. This might take like 5 or 6 interactions versus like
Yeah.
1 or 2. I think that if I was in her shoes, I would just, yeah, I would say, like, we're not talking about this. You guys don't agree, and it creates, you can't have like a respectful discussion about it without it getting heated. And for maybe the few people that keep causing issues, those people don't get invited then to the big group gatherings. Maybe
Yeah.
they just stay, if it's one of Joe's friends that just like can't simmer down in a group setting, it's like, okay, we'll hang out with him with your friends, but he's not invited when it's a mixed bag of friends.
I agree. That's easy.
Yeah.
And then it's on them. It's like, if you want to play nice and have fun, then great. And if you don't, then you can't come.
That's it. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, I do think sometimes younger people like the political conversation. You know, they thrive on it and they enjoy it. But I think when it becomes uncomfortable, time to draw a line.
I remember living in the city in the high rise, and everybody was one way, and they talked about it a lot. And I was zipping. And finally somebody
I
said,
love that
why
term.
don't you ever say anything? I said, no,
Yeah.
I don't want you to know my opinion. I keep my things private.
And
It's the
Susan,
only
I just
thing I
talked-
keep private. But
We just talked about this on one of our podcasts
know,
recently.
I know.
Like, you're not going to change anyone's mind. I don't care if you're 27 or 77. People typically have their political and religious views set. And, I hope that we get to a place where sides are more respectful of each other's opinions. But if you already know you're walking into this, then it's best to just say, please don't do it. And hopefully, but I'm with you, Serena. It shouldn't
I
be a deal
plead
breaker.
the fifth.
I feel like people also just love to argue
Yeah.
and
Yes,
love to
yes.
and love to hear themselves argue. And when you get a group of those people around, it's probably going to be impossible to stop that, because even if they don't start that way, something will be said and it's something they're watching or out to dinner or where.
Yeah, but maybe the first 2-3 times it will be that way, but like that fight is going to get old. You know what I mean? They're not going to be able to sustain that every single time. Do you think?
Well, what's crazy is that this happened on the first hangout. Like I would think the first hangout would be pretty mild. I would say I could see this coming up like, we were all kind of getting along, and then like the fifth hangout, politics got brought up and people have opposing views, and now people are starting to hate each other. But if this is starting from day one, it seems like,
it might not work out.
Separate parties.
Yeah.
Yeah, separate parties. You can still host, just maybe not all together.
Not all at once, yeah. But I love it. So it's probably in the end, after the fifth one, whoever the guy was on his side, his friends, and the girl and hers probably end up together.
You think? I mean, hey, that's only good for the dynamic if
That's right.
they start dating.
I remember being young and
You do?
back in the dark age. Yeah, when it was black and white TV. I remember it all well. But I remember loving that energy of having religious discussions and political discussions. And that's sort of how we all formulate our opinions. We read, we talk about things, and they're just in that stage of their life.
But there's a time and a place for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, wait till one of them sleeps with someone, and then they ghost that person, and then they all get
Yeah, that's gonna be a real
something
problem.
to talk about.
That's a lot worse than political arguments,
That's right.
for sure.
That's right.
It's also like, I do wonder with this girl, like, is she overthinking it? Like, she's like, nothing was
worried,
happening, but
paranoid.
I felt the awkwardness, and it's like, maybe like her own anxiety about the situation is making it feel like a bigger deal than it is. Like, I think she should go ask her friends, like, hey, because they might be like, oh no, it was awful. Or they might be like, no, it really wasn't that bad. Like,
You're being
we
dramatic.
were fine. Like
don't
because she's probably
sweat it.
putting a lot of pressure on herself. Right?
Enjoy
You know what?
yourself. Let them be. If they want to argue, let them argue. Stop worrying.
I think when you're in a relationship, being able to travel with somebody
It's so easy to find your and select take our quiz.
there's a whole
Snag a Job is the all-in-one solution knowing you have a talent pool like that.
Oh, sorry, Natalia. They're both 20.
Business running smoothly. So if
You
Natalia.
deeply in. Do you still have her name wrong? Priscilla?
expert, snagajob.com, where America goes to hire.
I've got the solution before the next party. Priscilla? Is that still Priscilla?
Talia.
Talia.
Oh, sorry, Natalia. They're both 27. Sorry. Natalia, before the next party,
Talia.
I encourage you
Talia.
to deeply. Do you still have her name wrong?
Yeah,
You still have her
Talia.
name, bro. You
Talia.
can't hang out with this friend group
Okay.
either because
We're going to spend 30 minutes on this. Talia, which, by the way, Joe, brings me to my question. What the hell is your last name and how do you pronounce it? But we'll get to that. I would say deeply inhale or pour a glass of something before your next party.
Yeah.
Problem solved.
Yeah,
Are
maybe
you
a glass
asking
of
me-
wine or two before everyone shows up.
Kathy, are you asking me my last name?
Yes,
Yeah, how
because
do you pronounce it?
it looks like amable, which in Spanish means, friendly, good. I don't know exactly what it means, but amable is like a cheerful, nice person. But how do you pronounce your last name?
It's Italian, and in Italy it means love, but it's amabile. Amabile.
Wait. I'm going to Italy. Say it again. Amable.
Amabile.
Hey,
So like my
Susan.
full name,
It's
my
like
full,
amore.
so like
Amore.
my first name is Joseph Anthony Amabile. My whole name.
Amabile or amabile?
Amabile.
Amabile.
Yeah.
I'm going to walk around the streets of Italy.
It's a vow.
Amabile. I want
Just
something.
say amore, Kathy.
They pronounce it so pronunciate it so well in Italy. Like even when we were checking into the hotel,
Yeah.
it's like
It's-
Mr. and Mrs. Amabile.
Whenever we obviously travel a lot, and whenever we check into hotels in the States, they're like, "Hi, Mr. Amabile, nice to meet you." Because
Amabile.
phonetically, that's how it is. But when we went to Italy on our honeymoon, oh my gosh, they pronounce it so beautifully.
Do you
Mr.
speak
Amabile.
Italian? Either one of you?
a little bit. Little
No,
bit.
he doesn't. He always says this. He always does. We went to Italy and the cab driver was like, "Do you speak?" And he was like, "A little bit." And then I'm like, "You don't speak any Italian. This guy is going to start talking to you. Think you understand what he's saying?"
It was a
Joe.
woman, and she did start talking to me, and we had a conversation.
Yeah, but different conversations.
Joe thinks they had a
You didn't
conversation.
know what she was talking
She had
about,
no
but-
idea. The woman was having a great conversation. Joe had no idea what was going on. Okay, Joe, how do you say in Italian, "I would like a glass of red wine, please"?
Red wine.
Red wine, please.
No, Joe speaks zero Italian. Like, not a word.
Well, wine's vino.
Vino.
Yeah.
I can do it in Spanish.
Vino,
Yo
por
quiero
favor.
un taza of something vino tinto is in Spanish, but I don't know. I
I
know
would-
zip
yeah.
Italian.
I would say vino roja.
Just say vino, and it's usually red, Cat.
Yeah, that's true.
Or just put my hand up to my mouth and they'll bring me something to drink.
Yeah.
You get it free on the train. Like they give you wine. It's amazing.
Yeah,
They
I'm
have
jealous.
Best
bag.
wine. Best wine.
All right, let's.
okay.
We got the question 3, last question.
Okay.
All right, Charlie. He's 30 from New York City. Am I wrong for feeling uncomfortable about my girlfriend's close friendship with her ex?
Tail.
All right, here we go.
Here we
I've been
go.
dating my girlfriend for about a year now, and things have generally been great. However, lately I've been feeling uneasy about her friendship with her ex-boyfriend. They dated for several years before breaking up, and now they are still very close. They talk almost every day, have the same friend group, so they see each other often, have one-on-one hangouts like a few times a year, and even have inside jokes that I don't understand. Oh, this is an issue immediately.
Ow.
I've expressed my concerns to my girlfriend, and she reassures me that they are just friends now and that I have nothing to worry about. She's always emphasizing that they dated when she was 18 and that the relationship was juvenile and means nothing now.
18 is not like 15, you know?
But every time they spend time together, I can't shake how uncomfortable it makes me. Am I overreacting, or is it reasonable for me to feel uncomfortable about this situation? She's adamant about keeping the friendship because he was there for her during some really unfortunate family times and is heavily integrated into her friend group from college. I trust her, and I've never seen any kind of flirtation from either of them. Honestly, if I didn't know their history, I probably wouldn't think much of it. But knowing they have a romantic past changes things for me.
And they dated for several years. This
Does
wasn't
he
like,
ever spend time with the two of them? I wonder.
that's like a,
We-
it sounds like yes, because he says that seeing them integrate together and that he's part of her friend group. So I would assume that like when he hangs out with the friend group, the ex-boyfriend is present at times.
I feel like he has a little bit of jealousy, but rightfully so to a point. If you don't trust, then you're going to have these issues. But I'm friends with all my exes.
Really? Are you?
Everyone.
Susan, but you don't go on one-on-ones with them and talk
you
to
talk
them
to them?
Once a year, George and I
once
have
a
a
year.
once
That's
a year.
once a year.
Yeah.
That's
Do you
not
like
what
talk
he's-
to them every? She says
No,
He says they're talking every day.
That's
and they're,
what-
That's a lot.
That's
yeah.
it. You know,
If
I don't,
she cares enough and she knows how he feels, then she's got to pull back a little bit with that.
or in Italian, arrivederci.
No, you do know Italian. Yeah, and also I don't like the inside joke thing. Like,
Yeah,
and
that would sting.
if you don't get the inside joke, you ask her later what was the inside joke about, and she's like, "Oh, don't worry about it. It's between him and I." Then you're like, oh, then you break
then
up.
you're like, ciao, Bella.
Yeah,
I mean, don't you think though that it's okay? I'm friends with the one ex in my life. I'm friends. But this is beyond talking every day and inside jokes. Like that smells like a dog, looks like a dog, and he's uncomfortable with it. So if she, as you said, Susan, if she loves him or really cares about him, I would think she would be saying, you know what? I'm not going to see him as much. We're not going to talk every day. If she's insisting on that, there's more to this story.
So just say, for instance, you have an ex from 18 and you're really good friends and there's nothing really going on. How would you handle that? What would you
Me?
do? Yes.
Me? An ex from when I was 18 years old? Mm-hmm. I
That
can't
you're
remember his
buddy
name.
with. Oh, I'm saying. Serena, how about you?
Well, if I was this girl that he was dating, and I had an ex that I was talking to every day. See, I mean, I don't have a relationship with any of my exes, so this is like so mind-boggling to me. But I think you have to be willing to redefine that relationship when someone new comes into the picture. It's like she needs to prioritize her current boyfriend, and the fact that it's like she's going out spending one-on-one time with her ex, knowing that it's making her partner uncomfortable, and she's totally fine with that.
Well,
is
we don't
what's
know. We
weird
don't
to me.
know. We don't know if it is making. He may have.
No, he says like when I tell her, she tells me like it's nothing.
Oh, he did say
Yeah,
that.
no,
Yeah.
he's that's the whole point. So
Like,
you are hitting the nail on the head. He is uncomfortable. If she loves this guy, then she's
Yeah,
needs
I'd
to
be
make a
like,
change.
no more one-on-ones, okay? If you're out
Yeah,
with
no
friends
more
and he's there,
one-on-ones.
that's fine. But really,
Totally.
cut me a break.
I would be like redefine the relationship of like you're in the same friend group. You can't you shouldn't have to avoid your friends to avoid this person. But like no more one-on-one hangouts. Like maybe
Yeah.
if you want to do you can catch up in a group setting. You see him all the time, and no more talking every day.
And I want to be
would
part of
feel-
the inside jokes.
Yeah,
I wanna
or,
know.
or like let's just ex-nay them. Like
But the problem is when you have to tell your partner they can't do something.
it is very hard.
that-
It's
it's
very
not even about it
uncomfortable.
being very hard. Then they're just going to want to do it more. The truth is, she
But
needs.
if she does want to do it more, that's the problem. If
Oh,
you
that's what I'm saying.
If you
She-
told me I don't want you to do this, I would be like, yeah, no problem.
Okay,
Like,
but she.
I don't want you to feel bad.
What I'm saying is, I think she needs to realize that it has now become a little inappropriate. It's making him uncomfortable. She needs to be able to see that for herself and gradually stop. But if he's like, you can't do this anymore,
That's a different,
it's just that never works.
Or put yourself in his shoes. Stop and think about it. How would I feel if he were doing this?
100%.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's only fair. And that maybe would modify the way you.
Yeah, it's thinking about the other person's
Yeah.
feelings, how is it going to affect our relationship, all those things. And if you're not having that communication and talking, then there's a bigger chasm in your relationship than you realize.
That's what I would do, but I'm a child. I would instantly be like, okay, fine. Then I'm just gonna become best friends with a few of my exes and go hang out with them, and then we'll play that game.
And you know
That's
what I'm going to
crazy.
do? I want to meet Susan's exes.
Yeah.
They're all buddies.
Susan's exes could become my currents.
They could, Kathy. They could.
Yeah, but I do think it's one thing to be like, hey, my ex is in town. We ended on great terms. I'd love to like go grab a coffee with them or go grab lunch with them. Like, yeah, like
Yeah, that's fine.
you trust the person you're with. That's totally fine. Like this relationship is so extensive that it does borderline on inappropriate. I feel like the conversation needs to be like, hey, this makes me uncomfortable. These are the parts that make me uncomfortable. Are you willing to make adjustments? And if
Right.
she's like, no, I don't care that you're uncomfortable, I'm not going to do that. Like, you
Everyday
might need to reevaluate the relationship.
Everyday conversations on the phone. Give me a break. Are you not over him? Maybe you want to keep.
That's what
him
I'm saying.
Close?
That's Susan.
Makes you
it,
think.
it makes you think. It looks like something. It probably is something. And,
yeah.
Where there's smoke, there's fire.
yeah.
Usually.
Yes.
Okay, so what?
Trust
so
your
overall,
intuition.
okay, so overall, what's the advice we're giving Charlie from New York?
Lay some ground rules.
Okay, Kathy.
I would say have the conversation and don't give ultimatums. If she insists on the relationship and isn't willing to compromise, that does not bode well for a future relationship.
Yeah.
Okay,
100%.
damn. All right.
Like, what is this guy going to be like in a bridesmaid at their wedding? Like, no.
Could
I
be.
mean, at this rate,
Now,
it's
that's
going to be
right.
like that movie with
That's right.
Patrick
Yes,
Dempsey?
yes,
with Patrick
Yeah,
Dempsey.
maid of honor.
That's what's going to end up happening.
That's literally what's happening.
Do you want to be the other guy competing against Patrick Dempsey? Is the question.
No.
Okay. That's going to wrap the questions. Thank you guys for writing in your questions. We really appreciate it. And Kathy and Susan, thank you so much for joining us today. It was so much fun having you guys on Happy Hour.
Yeah, thanks for
it's
coming
good to see you
on.
again.
And it's great to see you, and I'm so glad to know because so many people don't know how to pronounce your last name, Joe Amably.
Wow.
Now people
You
know.
nailed it.
I've nailed it.
Say it one more time.
Joseph Anthony, was it? Joseph Anthony Amably.
Nice.
Wow.
She did it.
Beautiful.
Okay, this was so much fun. Thank you guys again. And to all our listeners, we'll be doing a part 2 where Kathy and Susan take the wheel and we'll be the guests on their podcast. So be sure to keep an eye out for that episode dropping later this week.
Yep, be sure to give part 2 a listen and make sure to subscribe. We have new
Find our quiz and let Beachbound do the heavy lifting for you. Go to beachbound.com to get started today. I mean, I love it. I can't wait for our